All right, check this out. JD Vance has had quite the day, and I want to break it down for you guys because I've covered tariffs today. I've talked about Elon Musk's dismantling of our government and of Social Security, but I do want to take a peek into what JD Vance has been up to because he has stirred up some controversy, not only with his wife when she did an interview, but he's also apparently beefing with the entire country of China. China lashes out at JD Vance for comments about Chinese peasants. I'm going to break all of this down because why is our vice president beefing with an entire country? He can't stop going on these Twitter tirades, and it's not a good look for us. I get that you're a debate bro, and that's fine. I like to debate as well. But he's also just very arrogant about it on Twitter. Maybe engage in a respectful, non-arrogant way and don't call people peasants, but we'll get there. I want to start off here. Elon Musk is currently coming for JD Vance's hometown, and Doge may lose JD Vance's hometown thousands of jobs. Check this out. A new mill that would have created jobs is reportedly on the chopping block because of Elon Musk. The Trump admin's plan cuts have hit close to home for JD Vance, a $500 million grant in the town that JD Vance wrote Hillbilly Elegy about. That's his best-selling memoir. May lose thousands of jobs. There is a massive steel plant that has 2,000 people working there. It was supposed to receive this $500 million green energy grant, to put it in the simplest terms possible, and the equipment was going to be modernized. The entire operation was going to be better. People would have better working conditions, but guess what? The money has been slashed. I'm sorry, it's not funny. This is affecting real working people in Ohio. But how is Elon Musk receiving billions of dollars of grants from the government on a weekly and monthly basis, yet they cut grants for steel mills? They claim to be the administration for the working class, but they increase prices with tariffs, which Elon Musk is insulated from, Trump is insulated from. They slash Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security while lying about it. They say that there's fraud and that they didn't actually slash it. They also remove grants and they fire federal workers, all with the guise of downsizing the government. It's pretty disgusting, and JD Vance has enabled it. That's why I don't feel bad when Usha Vance gets him bullied. That's why I don't feel bad when China slaps back. But let's continue this. The new furnaces, which run on climate-friendly hydrogen, natural gas, and electricity instead of coal, would have helped revitalize the aging steel facility and largely revitalize a town that is impoverished. It's just factual. That is what JD Vance would admit as well. The Middletown Works was founded in 1899, and now it's going to go under. You know what I don't understand? Trump is doing this tariff thing under the guise of revitalizing manufacturing, reshoring these plants and jobs and having people work. But like when we have the chance to revitalize a plant that is already built here, they decide to absolutely drop it. So, I mean, at least these workers maybe have 401ks. Oh, wait, never mind. Their 401ks are going to be absolutely cooked as well. Let's go on to this next story, because while JD Vance is hurting his own impoverished hometown, he's also making fun of impoverished people in China, only further escalating this trade war. And listen, JD Vance has demeaned Ukraine and Europe, and that really bothered me a lot. So when he demeans China, I don't really care as much as when he's making fun of Zelensky in the Oval Office. I care about our European allies a lot more than China, but also it's just not a good look at a time when your administration is kind of collapsing on the global stage. Actually, collapsing the global stage itself, to be honest. So yeah, maybe don't be an arrogant asshole when you don't know what you're doing. A spokesperson for China's foreign ministry denounced the VP's comments as ignorant and impolite, and I won't even read this full article, but the entire takeaway is that why is JD Vance trying to put down people as being peasants when he is currently going to make the entire American economy crash and we're all going to be peasants? Also, dude, number one, why are you insulting one of our largest trading partners during an already fragile moment because of the trade war? But also, why are you randomly calling people peasants? It's just very, very odd. This takes us on to what Usha Vance said. Quote, "I wonder why VP JD Vance brutally mocked after Usha Vance says he's, quote, very lonely." And let's check this out. Second Lady Usha Vance covered a lot of ground during an early April interview with the Detroit Free Press, from her legal careers to the ways in which her life has changed since her husband JD Vance was sworn in as VP. We even got some insight into when they were booed at the Opera House. Quote, "Obviously," Usha Vance said, "our lives are not normal, and it almost feels absurd to say that they are. According to Usha Vance, Her husband's communications with her are often via text messages sent between meetings. Signal, I wonder? Is it Signal? The second lady told the Free Press, quote, "I don't know that he's asking me for advice so much, as it can be a very lonely, lonely world not to share with someone. The interview is now receiving a lot of attention on X and getting JD Vance kind of bullied. One photographer, Thomas Keepout, tweeted, Usha Vance, my husband is very lonely. Hashtag liar Vance. At least he hasn't been kidnapped and trafficked to a foreign prison," obviously referring to the people who were here legally, who were deported with no due process to a prison that is very violent. Another journalist said, quote, "Usha is no doubt the more likable half of the Vance power couple." It's not that hard to be more likable than JD, which is why she's being trouted out to smooth over her husband's awful comments. But she's also a woman who has benefited from feminist and liberal change and is now helping pull the ladder up from other women. You know, I'm going to take a leap here, and this may be complete speculation, but I think Usha Vance would be somewhat liberal if it wasn't for her husband's far-right turn. I believe we've heard that she was liberal in the past, and I feel like she would be. Progressive attorney Ms. Stahl from MSNBC said, quote, "I detest the Usha is captured arguments being trotted out by some. She absolutely knows what she's doing, and I'll bet all the money in my pocket that she's been totally on board for embracing America's Hitler so they'll have more power." And that kind of goes hand in hand with what I was just saying. And another reality, I think she would be more liberal, but she sees the path to power that JD Vance can take her on. In response to Ms. Stahl's tweet, user Amy Oosterhouse wrote, "Nothing I detest more than those who get their armful and pull the ladder up behind them. I find it disgusting." We see that with a lot of MAGA figures. Whether they're a minority of their own or an immigrant or just an LGBTQ person, once they succeed, they pull the ladder up behind them and they try to make it harder for other people, other minorities, to succeed in the same way. User Heidi Timken posted, quote, "And I watched her answer about the childless cat ladies. There was absolutely no cleanup by Usha. She doubled down on the comment. She's all in. Someone said, wife says the oaf is lonely. Wonder why." And that is the one. Wonder why JD Vance is lonely lately. Maybe it's his personality or the way he speaks. I can't really put my finger on it. Or maybe the fact that he also pulled the ladder up behind him in the same way that Usha Vance did. Remember, he wrote an entire book about how he came from an Ohio town that was quite impoverished. He would be the first to admit that. Now he refers to other people as peasants. Now he benefits the richest of the rich while him and his buddies are insulated from the tariffs that they are placing and the Social Security that they are cutting. It is all a disgusting long game for power, but I guess that's what power does. I mean, imagine growing up in your hometown, and after you gain a lot of power, instead of using it to directly benefit the people that raised you, the hometown that raised you, you turn your back and watch as jobs are lost, as it all crumbles, all because you're beholden to the wallet of a billionaire named Elon Musk and Doge. And I'll leave it at that. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe, because I know you guys are sick of me saying this, but I want to continue promoting this so we can beat Joe Rogan. But in Q1 of 2025, I was one of the top 10 fastest growing YouTube channels that are political. I beat Charlie Kirk, beat Tucker Carlson in terms of growth. Next step is to beat Joe Rogan and Fox News. That can only happen if everybody watching these videos subscribes. It's free. And also, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.